When I say the word failure, what's the first thing that pops into your head? If I had to take a wild guess, I'd probably say something not very good. And that's the thing. Nowadays, when people hear the word failure, they immediately think it's something bad. And that shouldn't be the case. Because back in the day, failure used to mean something different. But over time, it's actually changed. It used to be something good, now it's turned into something bad. And the truth of the matter is, failure actually begins when you're far younger than you think. Because, think about it. When you're young, toddler, and you're crawling along the ground, you want to get up and you want to start walking. You go for it, you trip, you fall, you slip, you fail. But you keep on going at it. You keep on trying. And eventually, after learning from those mistakes, you eventually get up, you take your first step, and then another, and then another, and then you walk. See, failure isn't something that we should all be ashamed of. It's a learning experience. The way I kind of picture it is, failure is the world just telling you, whatever way you're doing it, it's not that way, try another. So if you do something one way, you fail at it that way, yeah, that's one way. That's one path you could have taken doing what you were doing, but then you choose a different path, you go down that also might fail. But then eventually, if you fail enough, you'll find success. And that's the way it should be. Now, only being 22 years old, I haven't failed at very monumental things, but one thing I can remember failing at was my black belt grading for a martial art that I have. And there was one that I had to try and do, and I was only given 3 chances for it. I failed the first one. I failed the second one. Those two, they pushed me because I knew that if I failed a third time, that was it. I was done. No black belt for me. So those 2 failures beforehand motivated me to concentrate on what I was doing. Really concentrate. And at the back of my head, I was thinking, if I fail this third time, that's it for me. I'm done. I can't go any further. But then the other side said, so what? You fail, but you can try again. You don't have to get it now. If you do, fantastic. If you don't, you can get it later. And so I went for that third try, and I succeeded. It was that idea in the back of my head that if I did it and I failed, I wouldn't be able to do it again. But then the other side saying, so what? That's one way you could have done it. Try another. You don't have to stick with this one path or this one way of doing something the entire time. You've got different ways of doing it. Do it one way, it fails. Do it another way, it may succeed. If it doesn't, try another. That's all it takes. Now, the greatest thing about failure is that when you fail, it's not about failing, it's about bouncing back. Because if you do something once and you fail it and you just give up, that's not going to do any good for you. That's just going to make you accept the fact that if you fail once, that's it. That's the end of the road, end of the path, nothing else beyond that. But if you get pushed down, if you fail, and you get back up, if you bounce back from those hits, that builds character in yourself. That builds confidence, realizing that, yes, I can fail, I can get knocked down, but if I get back up, if I keep on taking those steps, I will eventually get to where I want to get to. Now, there are a few practical tips for this, and I'm going to share a few of them, probably 3 of them. And we'll see where it goes from there. So the first one is just reframing your mindset of it. So instead of saying, I failed, say, I learned. Because the basis is, every time you fail, it's a lesson. It's a learning experience. Like I said at the beginning, it's the world telling you, don't do it this way, try another. You're learning from that experience. That failure that you did, you're learning from it and making it better than the first time. And that's all you need to do for it. The second one is analyzing the failure specifically. Ask yourselves these 2 questions. What did I do wrong? And what can I do next time to fix it? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something different. That is crazy. So don't do the same thing that you did before. Change it. Make it different, because if you change it, there's a chance it will succeed. And the more you change from what you originally did, the better chance you're going to have of succeeding in what you were trying to do. And the third tip, just goes along with what I said at the beginning. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You take your steps. You learn from one mistake, and you take a step to the other. One after the other, one foot in front of the other, and you walk. You learn from your mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you are doomed to repeat them. So don't. Don't make the same mistakes you did in the past. You make one mistake, you say, okay, I made that mistake, I'm not going to do it again. If I do it again, nothing's going to change. So I'll try something different, and then something will change. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's about it. So I hope who's ever watching this took something out of it. And yeah, just remember this one thing. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. The key thing is getting back up. And that's it. So yeah, I hope you guys took something out of this, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.